Good evening, and welcome to the Positive Sports Podcast. I'll be your host this evening, Ed Montana. Alongside me today, look at you in a swimsuit, looking just all beachy and ready.
I'm ready to go.
My brother Alex. Alex, how you doing today?
I'm feeling beachy.
Beachy.
Son of a beach.
At least not bitchy, right?
Yeah, no water for me, man. I don't know how to swim. The only time I touch water is when I'm washing my face, taking a shower, and that's about it. All right.
You know, we talked we were at we had a family gathering yesterday, big old barbecue, and we talked about when I got saved from drowning by my uncle when I was a little kid. So none of us are real good in the water. Why is that? None of us are amphibious type people.
I don't know.
Well, anyway.
Actually, hold on. Before we get started, someone had a birthday these past couple days ago.
Couple days ago. A few days ago. Quite a few days ago.
Ed was trying to forget because he didn't want to get older.
No, I forgot because I'm older.
My man, happy birthday. A little belated, but
Thank you so much.
Happy birthday. Keep turning 21. You're looking good.
Well, not for 21, but yeah, I'm gonna try to stick on that 21 train for as long as I can.
Is that the Forever 21 diet?
That's right. That's me. Forever 21. I probably need to change it to like 25 at some point.
Yeah, at some point. 'Cause,
at some point, I don't know, like 20 years ago, right? Thank you. Yeah, it was a good time. I didn't do anything crazy. It was in the middle of the week, but it was good anyway. So.
Well, good.
I can't complain. Episode 24 of the Positive Sports Podcast. If you want to get a hold of the show, you can do so at positivesports10@gmail.com. That's the show's email address. positivesports10@gmail.com. If you want to get a hold of my brother, how do they do that?
Brooklyn Gaucho on Twitter.
And if you want to get a hold of me, at eMontana21 on Twitter as well. This is episode 24. 24. What number? What sports figure comes up when you think 24?
I mean, I think about Kobe.
Oh, shoot. I didn't even think of Kobe.
What do you picture him as the number 8 with the 8 jersey?
You know, I don't picture him with a number at all. I was thinking about that this morning, episode 24, and I thought of 2 or 3 24s, and Kobe was not one. Sorry, wow. Kobe.
Shame on you. Well, who do you think about?
Ken Griffey Jr.
That's a good one.
Tony Perez.
Manny Ramirez. Can't go wrong with man.
Manny being Manny.
Can't go wrong.
Now, I think out of the ones we mentioned, I'm gonna stick with Ken Griffey.
Ken Griffey. Jr. That's not a bad one.
No, it's not a bad one.
No.
I think Kobe's a good one. I just brain fart.
Yeah, that's signs of getting old.
Well, I did just have a birthday this past week, so.
But yes, episode 24. Where are we going to start?
Well, let's start. I don't know how you talk about anything but this World Cup, man. It's just
bonkers.
It gets crazier and crazier. And
if the World Cup had a bracket, everyone's bracket would be busted.
Oh, everyone's bracket's busted. And we'll talk about this some more as we get into it. But tomorrow, it may bust. It may completely bust tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah.
Because there's some crazy stuff waiting on tap tomorrow. But let's go back. So last we talked to our family and friends and the show here, we talked about everyone had played 2 games, and so we were coming on the last game of the group stage. Some groups had some drama, some groups didn't.
Yeah.
So we'll just touch real quickly on all the groups. Group A, Uruguay and Russia were already qualified. They were playing to see who would be first or second. Uruguay ended up first, Russia second. No big deal. Group B, obviously you had the powerhouses in Spain and Portugal, and Iran and Morocco had. I think Morocco actually had no chance of advancing.
No,
but Iran had a chance. And if you watch that game on Monday afternoon, or both games simultaneously, I took a long lunch at 1:00 and went to the bar and watched it.
Nice.
And so I had both games on simultaneously. They both ended up in ties, which kind of kills all the drama. But holy moly, was it close at the end. Iran almost scored a goal against Portugal in stoppage time that would have sent them through. And in fact, I think would have put them in first in the group, if I'm not mistaken. And, Spain had to battle with Morocco. And so my apologies to Iran and Morocco, because I did all this pissing and moaning last week about how these teams are small and not traditional powers, and they get scared and they play in a defensive shell. Those two teams came out and balled on Monday and gave Spain and Portugal everything they wanted and then some.
Yeah, they didn't make it easy at
No,
all.
not at all. It was so much fun to watch. I mean, I was sitting there, I had two big screens in front of me, and I wish I could like split my eyes so I could watch them both simultaneously. But I was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It was great stuff.
Yeah, I didn't watch most of both of those games. I was just going back and forth. But from watching the highlights, Iran they had chances to score.
Oh yeah. At the end, and again in both games, the VAR came into play. I'm still waiting for. We talk about this stuff on Twitter all the time, and I hashtag the hell out of FIFA. I'm waiting. I tweet at FIFA all the time. I'm waiting for them to get back to me, because I'm sure that they have a very detailed explanation about how this stupid thing is supposed to work.
Well, I don't think they have one. That's why they haven't gotten back to you.
So they better draft one up, because it is terrible. And some of the stuff that you hear is just ridiculous. So one of the articles I read today was Collina, who's a very respected Italian referee from about, I'd say 10 years ago. He was the bald guy. Mm-hmm. And very, very good referee. He says, the VAR is great. It is getting 99.3% of the calls right. Really?
Damn.
Really? First of all, there haven't been 1,000 calls that the VAR has made. And I can count more than 7 that have been wrong.
Well, they need a new accountant.
I mean,
they need somebody to run the metrics.
Yeah, he's a good referee, but he's no numbers guy. There's no way it's 99.3, and I just don't understand. I just don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand either. I just ban replay, please. Just get rid of it. I don't want to see it decide any game. We'll get into that later.
Yeah, we're going to get into that as we get to this, right? Anyway, back to the group stage. Group C, France and Denmark were pretty much guaranteed to go through, and they did. They played a snooze fest of a draw. Group D was exciting, right? Because you had Croatia, Nigeria, Argentina, and Iceland. Argentina, Nigeria played, and Croatia and Iceland. And just to bring everyone up to speed, Nigeria controlled their own destiny. If they won, they were through. Iceland with a win and a Nigeria tie or loss, they would go through. And Argentina needed a win and Iceland to not win, right? So it was pretty dicey. Argentina played great in the first half, really up until they scored. Well, no, pretty much the entire first half.
They played well. They just early in the second half, I feel like they let up a little bit.
They let up a little bit. Nigeria scored that penalty, and then the wheels were coming off.
Yeah, you could see it.
It looked bad.
I mean, it looked from like minute 45, the start of the second half, to like minute 65, 70. It just looked like, oh man, this looks like Argentina against Croatia.
Right.
You know?
And it was a bit of a panic as you were watching the game. No. You could see now, in all fairness, the players didn't seem to panic. But if you looked in the stands, the fans looked terrible. And then on the other side, you have Iceland and Croatia in a 1-1 tie. So it's working out for Argentina and Nigeria, really.
Right.
But they're in a 1-1 tie. And then there's, again, more VAR controversy where they go to the VAR. They did not call the penalty. They go to the VAR. They review it. It looks pretty clear that it is a penalty, at least the way they've been calling it throughout the World Cup with this handball situation. But they didn't call it. So the Nigerians are irate. And, I think it was in the 86th minute.
Yeah, it was late.
86th minute on a cross. A defender, that goal doesn't happen in the first game or the second game or up until minute 75. The only reason that defender's up there is because they're throwing everything in. Right. And I remember you and I were watching the game, and I said to you, it was 1-1. I said, this game's going to finish 2-1. I just don't know who's going to get the 2 because Argentina was throwing everything but the kitchen sink. Nigeria would get a chance every now and then to go the other way, but the ball fell to the Argentine defender Rojo, and he put it in the back of the net, and it was a frenzy like I've never seen. They caught Maradona on film, telling the Nigerians that it was 2 goals, right? He used the wrong finger to tell them that with both hands, but
I think it was 2 thumbs up. I don't know.
Well, yeah, the camera was moving. It was tough
okay.
to see, and then they had to take him out because he had probably a heart attack or something. I don't know.
And they forgot to blur out the words.
Yeah, the words
Or
his mouth.
You don't need to be a professional sinker to
Lip syncer?
sinker, isn't it? Lip syncing? No?
Lip reader.
Lip reader. Whatever. You know what I meant. That's why Ed's here, because he knows exactly what I mean I don't know what I'm talking about.
Right, so someone's got to translate Alex speak sometimes. Lip reader.
Lip reader.
Even in Spanish, I could read that.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. He's a character.
Yeah?
He's a nut, is what he is.
Still.
At
like 50-something.
How old is he?
Old.
He's probably...
He's 55, bro. He's got to be
55, 53?
Got to be somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there, yeah. Well, you figure he was a star in 86, right? He just missed out on the 78 World Cup, and he was 18, I believe, at the time. So that would make him 1960, maybe 58.
Yeah. Either way, it was
he's a lunatic.
Croatia and Argentina advanced from Group D.
1960, I was right. He's almost 58.
Damn. Old head.
I'm a good age guesser. That's like my one skill. I'm sorry, you were saying?
Oh, no. Well, I mean, Croatia and Argentina
made it through
in that round.
Yeah.
Were you surprised at Croatia winning that group?
I
had Nigeria winning that group.
Oh no.
I just thought Nigeria would give Argentina.
No, I thought Croatia was the second best team in that group. I guess I didn't. I'm surprised. I'm not surprised that Croatia won the group. I'm surprised at how poorly Argentina played to let Croatia win that group. Yeah. And I don't mean let in that way.
Yeah.
I thought that, position for position, skill for skill, I thought Argentina were a better soccer team and therefore they would win the group. But they didn't prove that on the field. And Croatia played excellent soccer.
Yeah, they
throughout.
Did. They sure did.
I mean, they gave up 1 goal in 3 games, and they scored 8. So it's not like they were playing in a defensive shell. So
right.
they're good. They've got better players than you think they do, and they've got players that play on some pretty big squads around the world. So, moving on, Group E, Brazil and Switzerland pretty much had this in the bag. Serbia, gave Switzerland a bit of a run, but not much. They're just not that good.
Nah.
And Switzerland is a good team. I'll be curious to see how they do in their matchup with Sweden. Because, the problem there is I think Sweden is a hell of a team. But anyway,
those 2 teams are the better of the other 2.
Oh, in Group B?
In Group B.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So no surprise there.
Costa Rica didn't belong in the World Cup, which, again, brings me back to my argument about 48 teams is a disaster. It's an absolute disaster. And I'll get into more of why 48 teams is a disaster later on in the show when we talk about the knockout phase.
So in Group F, you had Sweden, Mexico, South Korea, and Germany. All 4 teams had a chance.
Yeah, even South Korea with 0 points. They had a chance.
Instead, they had a chance to destroy a favorite, eliminate a favorite.
Well, no. With that win, if Mexico had done their job, or had done the job for them, South Korea could have gone through. So South Korea with the upset of Germany 2-0.
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't a 2-0 beating. Germany dominated most of that game.
And the last one was like an empty netter.
Exactly. It was an empty netter because the keeper wasn't there.
Right.
So, it's
So instead, Mexico
2-0 is a little misleading.
Mexico has to send South Korea some tacos and tortillas and tamales.
I've never seen the memes after those two games were hilarious. Well, just to recap real quick, Sweden beat the brakes off of Mexico. And let me tell you, that does not bode well for them, for Mexico going forward.
Well,
they looked tired, they looked spent, they looked like they had no speed.
Yeah.
It looked like the emotion and all of the effort that they put in that first game finally caught up to them in the third game. Sweden made them look really bad, and I think I worry about what it's going to do, what's going to happen in the next round.
And that's in large part. So I think Sweden is just a better team. They're in a level above what Mexico is, and it spells trouble for Mexico because now they got to play Brazil,
right, instead of Switzerland.
And so that's
that's a problem.
Yeah,
that's a big problem.
Yeah,
that's a big problem for them. And look, people were asking me before the World Cup who the sleepers were, and I said Belgium. I said, "Oh, Belgium's not a sleeper. Everyone knows about Belgium. Give me another sleeper." And I said Sweden, and people laughed at me. People were like, "Sweden? They don't know nothing about soccer." Sweden is a good team. Lots of good players that play around the world in some of the top leagues.
Yeah,
they're for real, and I'm curious to see how far this team goes. They played Germany step for step, lost late, and then came back 4 days later and played a tough game and absolutely beat the brakes off of Mexico.
Yeah, they're going to be a tough out, I think.
Absolutely.
From here on out.
Absolutely, they're going to be a tough out. Moving on, Group G. There's really nothing to talk about in Group G. Belgium and England had already qualified to go through. The only question was going to be who was going to go first.
Yeah.
And seeing as how they played Group H, which you have no idea what was going on in Group H, right? Because it was a complete jumbled mess. They really didn't play much. England, I think, subbed more than half of their starting lineup. So they went with a completely different squad for a change of pace. Belgium ended up winning. Tunisia and Panama, I guess they played as well. Again.
Oh, they were in it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Do we really need 48 teams? When we've got teams like Tunisia and Panama, do we need 48? Do we need 16 more teams like that? Because we're not going to get 16 more Brazils and Germanys and Frances and Italys. We're going to get... Well, we will get Italy.
Well, yeah, you would hope so.
You would hope so. But we're going to get a lot more of Tunisia and Panama. Anyway. And then the last group, you have Colombia, Japan, Senegal, and Poland. Poland was the only one that didn't have a chance.
The only ones, yeah.
Colombia, Japan, Senegal was a confusing mess.
It was.
Colombia ended up winning their game against Senegal, right?
Right. Which I thought that was going to be the best game of this last leg of the group stage, and it wasn't that good.
I thought it was pretty good. Maybe it's because I understood the drama involved in terms of winning and being out. Every time there was a goal scored, it changed who was going to go in.
Yeah, but the quality of the match just didn't.
No, the quality wasn't there. You could tell that they were both teams, all three teams. Japan was the same way. They wanted to attack and they wanted to go out and get the result and take it out of anyone else's hands. Right. But at the same time, you could tell that they were afraid to do so. Both teams, all four teams, well, not all four because Poland didn't give a shit, but the other three teams, all very timid, aggressive with timidity, which just doesn't work.
Right.
And you could see it. The way it ended up, Colombia won, Japan lost, but because of goal differential. Actually, not because of So
it went all the way.
So what ended up happening is you have Colombia winning the group, free and clear. They had 6 points, and so they won the group. But then Japan and Senegal ended up tied. And when I say tied, I mean tied. They had the same number of wins, draws, and losses, the same number of goals scored against, and the same number of goals scored for.
And
head-to-head, they tied 2-2.
They tied, yeah.
Which means we had to go to eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Oh, no. We've got one more criteria. In case none of those criteria work, we've got another one. which one of you guys plays nice?
Right.
How ridiculous is this?
I don't understand it. I think it's unfair. It's unfair to Senegal.
So let's explain for the audience real quick. So the last tiebreaker is fair play points. And you accumulate fair play points. Actually, you don't accumulate points. It's negative. You lose points. Mm-hmm. So for every yellow card, you lose a point. For every second yellow card that becomes a red, you lose a certain number of points. For a straight red, you lose a certain number of points. Yada, 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 yada. And I think it ended up being 6-4. Senegal had 6 yellow cards in 3 games. Japan had 4 in those 3 games. And so Japan advanced because they played nicer than... Which is just... and this is my problem.
So nice guys don't finish last.
Or second. Or third, I should say. My problem with this is pretty simple, right? They both played 3 games, and in only one game did they have the same referee. Both teams have the same referee, right? So Senegal was officiated in their game against Colombia and Poland. They were officiated by 2 referees, and Japan was officiated by 2 other referees in their games against Colombia and Poland. Again, I'm using something completely subjective, and look, referees are different. The way a game develops is different. To put it down to yellow cards to me is just silly. It's silly.
Then what other criteria should they use?
I mean,
what else is there to use?
The
who? Oh.
The virtual penalty kick
Yes.
we talked about last week. That was the perfect scenario for it. Their games are over. They're exactly tied. Put them up on the Jumbotron. Let's go to the virtual penalty kicks. It's just silly. It's so frustrating. FIFA is so frustrating with some of the stuff that they do.
Seriously, what other criteria are they going to use? I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. What else is there to use? Everything else
I don't know. Use some statistic of something that the players did, not something that was determined by a referee. Shots on goal. I don't know. I don't know. Attacking. How much time you spend in the attacking third of the field. Something. Give me some statistic of something that the players did on the field instead of giving me stuff that, to a large degree comes down to the judgment of a referee.
So, okay, these 4 teams, each group plays in the same city, right?
No, they move around.
They move around.
Yeah. That's the other thing, right?
'Cause I was going to say, just meet in the middle, have a shootout. Have a penalty shootout. Screw it. The very next day, you have a penalty shootout. Yeah, that's how you decide.
Why can't they meet the next day?
What do you mean?
Why can't they play the next day?
A full game?
A 30-minute game. I don't care. Do something to decide it.
Yeah.
Just do not. That's like having the tiebreaker in football come down to penalties. So the Giants had the same record as the Redskins, but the Redskins make the playoffs because the Redskins only committed, 160 penalties during the season, and the Giants committed 162. What?
Yeah, that's not fair play for Senegal or for the team that loses out. That commits one more red card or yellow card.
It's just silly. Silly.
I agree.
Silly, and I wish they would stop it. FIFA. In a lot of ways, I feel like FIFA is they're so desperate to try to make the game better that they end up taking a step backwards. They end up doing stuff that really pushes the game back. And the VAR, I think, is an example of that, where they're trying to get into the 21st century and be proactive and get the call right, but they're doing it with subjective stuff. And soccer is just one of those games where there's subjective calls. It's just the way it is.
But you know what? It happens. It's happening right now with the World Cup, baseball, basketball, football. But they try to find ways to reinvent and to make it more cleaner, and I think it I think they all take a step back.
Yeah, but the difference, and I hate to keep going back to this replay thing, but the difference is the replay thing in baseball and in football, and even in basketball, right? They use it for shot clock violations
right.
and buzzer beaters and stuff like that. It's objective. It's black and white. Did the ball leave his hand before the buzzer went off?
Yeah.
Right? Was the ball fair or foul? Okay. Was his knee down before the ball crossed the plane? Okay, his knee was down. The ball's here. Okay, it's not a touchdown. It's black and white stuff. Whereas this, in a lot of instances, they're trying to judge intention. That handball in the Argentina game, the argument that I got, which I can understand, is it came off of his head,
right.
So it can't be a handball. Well, I've jumped 1,000 times. I couldn't tell you where my arms are when I jump, right? Unless it's basketball, I'm trying to get a rebound, then my arms are right here.
Right.
But if I'm just jumping and trying to get as high as I can, sometimes my arm's here, sometimes it's here, sometimes it could be anywhere. It's subjective, and these guys are smart, athletic players. To try to judge their intent, come on.
Although sometimes their intent is pretty blatant, you can see.
Yeah, but you know what I've noticed? We don't need the VAR for those. Right. The referee never gets those wrong. Never. It's amazing. Right? There was one today there was a handball today, and everyone was like, the players are going, VAR, go check the VAR. You didn't have to check the VAR. You could see it. The guy jumped. He saw the ball was going to go behind him, so he said, hey, let me get as big as I can.
Yeah.
And the ball hit him in the hand, and it was a handball.
It was a handball.
So, just crazy. So now we move on to the knockout stage of the World Cup.
And the first game was France and Argentina, which, man, that was a lot of goals.
That was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of goals, man.
That was a good game. Back and forth.
Yeah. And, Argentina got up 2-1, and I think you said it, you were giving it 10 minutes to see how Argentina kind of held the lead, and sure enough, within those 10 minutes, France ended up tying it on a beautiful goal.
Oh, that half volley was
That
gorgeous.
was beautiful. I don't remember the guy's name. You probably do.
Pavard.
Pavard.
With a P.
P.
Like penalty kick.
So not Lavar, Pavard.
Yes, but Lavar's going to try to get his name
Boy,
out there.
everything that ends in VAR is just...
You just want to start talking Lamar. Yeah, a great game. What was really impressive with France, and good luck to who they play next, which we'll cover that game here in a second. Man, that's a lot of speed on that team. That's a lot of speed.
Yeah.
Mbappe was just, motoring all over the place. Griezmann is a handful.
19 years old. That's, to show up on,
he's
in the World Cup.
There's always one guy at the World Cup that just plays above his pay grade. He's as good as the pay he's gonna get.
Right.
But he's not getting paid that yet.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he plays that way on the center stage of the World Cup. And man, the vultures start throwing money at that guy like it's going out of style. And this year it looks like it's going to be Mbappe. He was just, when they took him out of the game, Argentina must have breathed such a sigh of relief. So just to recap, France went up 1-0. Argentina came back, scored 2 goals to go up 2-1. France put 3 past them to go 4-2.
Yeah.
And then they took Mbappe out. It was late in the game.
Right.
Argentina scored 1, and I thought, they got a shot at tying this up.
They did.
And they did. They just missed it. But I think they ran out of time. I think they would have tied that game. In 5 more minutes, I think they would have tied it up.
Yeah. I feel like we got the correct result out of that game.
I agree.
Because, you can tell France is a little bit stronger than that Argentina team. I feel bad for Messi. He's a tough team to play with because they just that offense is just not. It doesn't flow.
Yeah, it's
it doesn't
very
flow.
choppy. Very choppy.
And I think that disrupts Messi a little bit. It doesn't let him get
Yeah,
into
it's you
his
know,
rhythm.
and this is one of the things I wanted to talk about after we talk about the next game. But the situation on that squad, you know, Argentina has a lot of talent, but something has to be done to change the culture of that team and that organization. And quite frankly, I think it starts at the very top. I think they have to dismantle the leadership. They have to dismantle, take out the coach, and I think to a large degree, I think they have to bring in a different group of players.
Yeah.
I mean, you obviously Messi you would keep, right? But there's a couple of guys that you would keep, but I think you just need to overhaul it, because I think at this point for that team and that organization, it's more of a cultural problem than a talent problem.
Yeah.
And I say that.
Well, I don't know.
When I say talent, I'm not talking about just the players. I think the coaching staff is very talented, but does not perform in this culture. I think the organization is talented, but they don't perform in this culture. There's something wrong at the top. We've seen this in other sports where you see teams that are really good that can't seem to make it to the championship, and it's usually a couple of bad seeds, and it's not until they overhaul everything that they can do it, that they can get back to the top. And I think Argentina is at that point. And unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen until Messi's gone.
Yeah.
Messi is such an iconic figure that they're not going to make those drastic changes because they think, hey, we have Messi. We're close. Right?
So they're blind as a bat if they don't see that. The guy needs some damn help.
Oh, totally. Yeah. But again, I don't even know that it's that. He has talent around him. There's a cultural problem there between the players and the coaching staff and the organization that does not allow them to perform all the way through.
It could be. They all got talent. They all play in Premier Leagues, and they all got to the selection team. So yes, they all have talent. I don't think it's good enough talent, is my opinion.
That's interesting.
So the winner of that game, France, plays against the winner of Uruguay and Portugal.
That was a cracking game, too.
That was a great game. I like that one.
That was a good time. Yeah, both of those teams, very good teams with iconic figures in the front, in Ronaldo and Suarez. But Uruguay is a little bit more of a team, I feel, than Portugal. Portugal is more of the LeBron and company than Messi is, I think. Ronaldo does not have a wealth of talent around him, and that team pretty much goes as he goes, and he is one of the best players in the world.
Look, Portugal had their chances.
Oh yeah.
In the second half, I mean they were on the verge of doing something.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Scoring, but I think they just they failed away at the chances.
Yeah, they're just not as talented.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. And we were talking about sleeper picks earlier. Don't sleep on Uruguay.
Yeah.
They're a talented bunch. They've got players that play in the biggest games in the world, and they've been together for a while now. They've got a nucleus of players that have played through a couple of World Cups already.
Right.
And they know how to get through this grind. I think it's a fantastic matchup with them in France.
That's a good matchup.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
Kind of wish it was a little later.
Yeah, almost, right? Almost. So here's a question. Both guys are out. Look, Messi and Ronaldo are the best soccer players on the planet. Mm-hmm. You can make the argument that Ronaldo's better than Messi. You can make the argument that Messi's better than Ronaldo. I don't care. It's a long way to number 3.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with either.
Right. Both of them, especially with the longevity that they've displayed, are in the greatest of all time conversation.
Yeah.
Considering this World Cup added to their resume, did this World Cup help or hurt their greatest of all time status? Go.
I don't think.
Start with pick one and tell me yes or no.
I mean, no. Messi, no.
It does not hurt.
It does not hurt. Okay. No.
Explain to me why.
You want to know why?
Yeah.
Well, he played. I don't think that the talent surrounded him that surrounded him with this team helped him. I don't think the talent around him is helpful enough to take some pressure off of him. You know, I agree with you. Some, you know, it has to do with the coaching, but you can't pin this on him. It's just, I compare this to LeBron James. LeBron did all he could against the Warriors in the finals when they met the second time, or the first time, right? Without Kyrie and Kevin Love, he did all he could, but he can only do so much.
Right.
And I don't knock his legend status because he averaged a triple-double in the finals and didn't win.
Yeah, I don't really knock Messi for this World Cup either. My only problem with Messi is the lack of, or at least the perceived lack of leadership on the team. When they went down 1-0 to Croatia on that horrible mistake by the keeper, where was he to lead his team to say, no, come on, let's go, guys. Don't worry about it. Let's go get it back.
Right.
When they went down 4-2 to France, where was he to say, all right, we're gonna push this and we're gonna get those two back and we're gonna tie this up. Mm-hmm. He doesn't. And again, perception. I don't know, but
body language says a lot.
Body
right?
language, or I mean,
and
just his performance during the national anthem before the
yeah.
Croatia game. I mean, he looked like a whore at church.
he looked as frustrated as he could
Well, I mean,
be.
he looked petrified.
Yeah.
During the national anthem, he's sitting there just rubbing his face, and I'm like, oh my God, he's scared.
Yeah.
That's my only criticism of Messi in this World Cup. But as far as how far the team went, I don't think the team would have gone. If they'd have gotten the right matchup,
Maybe.
in the round of 16, they could have made it one more round. But they wouldn't have made it much further.
And to that point, what was the final score of Portugal and Uruguay? 2-1?
2-1.
When Portugal went down 2-1 or 1-0, if you watched the game, you saw Ronaldo pumping his team up. He said, "Come on, let's go." He didn't hang his head. Now of course they didn't win. He didn't score again, or he didn't score at all. But at least he was trying to motivate his team.
Right.
So
as far as greatest of all time status for Ronaldo, does this performance at this World Cup hurt or help that status?
no, I don't think it hurts at all. No, I don't think it hurts.
I think just the opposite. I think it helps.
You think it helps?
Yeah.
I don't think it helps or hurts. I mean,
what
because
he
at
did-
the end of the day, look, they play the World Cup every 4 years. He's gonna go back to Real Madrid. Messi's gonna go back to Barcelona, and they're gonna do what they do. And quite frankly, us here, you and I, we're gonna forget about these World Cups because they shove down so many games.
You're gonna forget the World Cup.
Yeah, but I mean, look.
So you're saying it just doesn't have the impact because it's once every 4 years?
No,
it's
easier to forget about.
You're saying their legend status is really made by what they do with their club teams.
I think so. Unless you live in Argentina, unless you live in Portugal, yeah,
Just outside of Houston.
Just outside of Houston, real outside of Houston, just a bit outside. Yeah, I mean, unless you live in Portugal or Argentina, then whatever. This may stick out to you, right? But I think to the average casual fan, probably not.
I think that's a good point. I think you can make your legend status in the World Cup,
Yeah, absolutely.
like Maradona did.
Absolutely.
But I don't think you can break it.
Yeah.
I don't think you can break your legend status. I think that's a good way to look at it. Anyway, we'll move on. We had 2 games today.
Yeah.
Spain versus Russia, which, look, this is my argument for why we shouldn't have 48 teams and 32 teams going into a knockout phase. The Russian keeper said that they played the entire game to get 2 penalty kicks, which, is there a stupider way to determine how to advance in a tournament than PKs?
It is a dumb way, but I'll tell you what. I fault Spain for not pushing that ball a lot more. I mean, They played
over 1,000 passes.
Is that what it was? I was
over
1,000. It was.
Yeah.
I was wondering what it was, and they played patty cake with that ball.
Yeah, I don't
the
understand
whole
why they
time.
didn't push it.
And then when they did try to sneak one in there, I'll credit Russia. They went and they got the ball and they kicked it out.
Yeah.
They stole the
Well,
pass.
and they would try to counter a little bit,
Right,
Not much.
right.
Most of the time, you're right. They blow it up out of the.
So
out of the
I
defensive
think
area.
Spain absolutely lost this game. I think they lost it.
I agree. My problem is
Obviously, by the score they did.
yeah, obviously. But again, my problem is you have a team that knows that they are so inferior that their
Yeah.
only hope is to go to the lottery that FIFA has put at the end of a soccer game called the penalty kicks. And to me, that's just wrong. It defeats the purpose of sport, right? It's like... What if the Patriots and Eagles in the Super Bowl, the Eagles said, "Oh no, the Patriots are too damn good, but we got a pretty good field goal kicker. We're just gonna wait till the end and we'll wait for the field goal contest." I mean, it's just, I just don't. They've got to find a way. And PKs have been around forever.
Yeah.
They've got to find a way to solve it. I don't understand why they can't just keep playing. Someone will make a mistake. Someone will fall asleep at the wheel, and the other team will score. Something will happen. Let them play.
Some of the players will probably drop dead and die from all the damn running.
Well, then let them
No.
let them make a sub. Let them make. Look, they added the stupid fourth sub this year.
Bro, 120 minutes of soccer is enough for me. Those games were way too long, bro. I'm totally fine with the PK. I have no problem with it at
There's
all.
got to be a better way. It's a lottery. It's a lottery.
Well,
And again,
I walk outside of my car. That's a lottery too.
and again, why we shouldn't go to 48 teams, have 32
Yeah.
teams in a knockout phase. A team like Tunisia and Panama is
no.
going to get through, and they're going to have to play Germany. And what are they going to do? We're going to sit back here, and we're going to try to wait it out 2 hours and then go to the PKs.
Yep.
Because a 50-50 shot in the lottery is better than a 10% chance of playing soccer against a good team.
Yeah, they wouldn't play with not one forward.
11 defenders.
And that surprises me of Russia because, being the host team, you would think they would kind of, want to go out there and score some goals. Although they did, but
No, they want to
sit back and
sit back and defend.
Well, look, man. You know what? If Spain wants to do these little passes at the midfield the whole time, you know what? I have no problem with Russia doing that.
I was surprised that as the game wore on that they weren't more aggressive. Because, I mean, they spent the entire second half in the Russian half of the field, and most of it at midfield. Sergio Ramos, PK, just passing the ball back and forth. It's like, hey, man, y'all got to find a way to go that way.
And to the player on Spain, I don't know his name, but as soon as I say this, you'll probably know his name. He needs a barber. I mean, that's a fucked up fade.
Oh, Sergio Ramos?
It's not even a fade. Yeah,
Well,
that's who it was.
it's a fade on one side and a mohawk on the other.
Dude, I mean, I can give myself that haircut.
I liked it.
What the heck was that?
I liked it. I thought it was kind of different.
Exotic looking?
Yeah, well, not exotic. It's just kind of weird.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
I'm biased though because I love Sergio Ramos. He's a clutch player.
That's fine. He's a great player. I'm just
but
saying, man. Like
but
the
fix the
haircut.
hair.
Yeah, fix the hair.
Surely you've got the money to get a better haircut.
So yeah, Russia ended up winning in
Penalty kicks.
penalty kicks.
And then the last game today,
Yeah, I didn't watch none of that. You could break that
Croatia
one
and
down.
Denmark. Croatia and Denmark. That was the first 4 minutes they scored 2 goals. I was
And
like,
then
not another one. After less than 4 minutes, 2 goals. I'm like, great. This game's gonna finish up 23-22. this is a basketball fan's dream come true. They didn't score again.
I did see that Croatia had a chance to put it away in the 116th minute
With a penalty.
with a penalty.
Yes. Oh wait, speaking of penalty, back to my VAR complaints.
Yes.
Spain.
Yes.
2 guys pulled down in the box. They went to the VAR and still said no.
Well, on one of them, they should have gone to the VAR and didn't. And it was an extra time, remember?
Yeah,
Do you
yeah,
remember
yeah,
that?
yeah.
But I'll say this. I'm glad they didn't.
Oh, stop.
I'm glad they didn't.
You got the wrong team.
Bro, I've watched 116 or 15 minutes of soccer. I do not want the very end being decided on VAR. Screw that.
But instead, you want to
Yes.
decide on a coin flip.
Yes, it was not a coin flip. It's penalty
Essentially,
kicks.
the
called
keeper.
penalty kicks.
The keeper makes a coin flip. Heads, I go right. Tails, I go left. And luckily, one way or another, hopefully there's a ball there. If there is, I'll stop it. If there's not, oh well. It's a flip of the coin.
Yeah, no, yeah, I understand. I get you.
Terrible.
I'm just saying. I watched 2 hours of soccer, 2+ hours of soccer.
I think Spain got hosed.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Two guys got pulled down.
They did.
And one of them, right? This brings me back to my original point about the VAR. Break out the VAR on every single corner kick. You will have a penalty call. Well, again, what are we doing?
Maybe that was some home field cooking they got there, man.
I mean, are you surprised? Are you surprised? The home team commits a foul with 3 minutes left in extra time in the box.
In the box.
They even go to the VAR. Nah, we're not going to call it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Terrible. Croatia, Denmark. It was a pretty entertaining game. Croatia ended up winning on penalty kicks. Denmark's a tough team, but just not enough firepower up front. They just couldn't finish. They couldn't finish in the final third of the field. No. So that's a problem. You can't score.
So Croatia plays Russia now.
Yes.
That game's going to suck.
Croatia's going to go through. Well,
I don't know.
I mean, Russia's, they're playing at home. The VAR's on their side.
Every game's at home.
Yeah. Jesus, terrible. Look, if they got past Spain... Well, here's the thing. They might not be afraid of Croatia like... They will not be afraid of Croatia like they were of Spain. They may come out to play, and Croatia may put 3 in the back of the net.
Good point.
Right?
Good point.
Because they're not going to be... Look, they are the lowest ranked team in the tournament. Russia.
Russia is?
They were the lowest ranked team. They are the lowest ranked team in the tournament. Not in the knockout phase.
In the tournament.
In the entire tournament. Damn. So they should be afraid of everyone.
Yeah.
And they should play every single game 11 behind the ball. And let's sit around and wait for PKs and hope for the best.
Wow.
Just terrible. It's a terrible way to decide who advances.
Well,
Spain were far more deserving to advance today.
See, I can't agree with that.
Why not?
Bro, they did not do anything with the soccer ball. They on the one goal that they were awarded was an own goal. Bro, they didn't
Ramos would have scored that goal if the guy hadn't put his foot in the way.
Bro, they didn't do crap. They didn't do crap to
How many shots on goal did they have?
I don't know.
How many did Russia have?
Not a lot. You know why? Because they kept passing the ball. You just proved it. 1,000 passes.
Yeah, okay, but still, even though what you're saying is they didn't, for the amount of possession they had,
yes,
they didn't attack enough for your liking. I agree with you. However, the amount that they attacked was 10 times the amount that Russia attacked.
Well, then
I win.
Defense wins games.
Defense wins championships.
That's right, David. Russia all the way.
Oh, jeez.
I'm just kidding. That's not my prediction. All right, so
we've got a few games left, and we'll talk about those as they happen.
Yeah.
Brazil, Mexico tomorrow. Sweden, Switzerland's another good one. Belgium and Japan, and Colombia and England. Those are all going to be pretty good games, I think.
Yeah.
Except for Belgium, Japan, I expect Belgium to get through relatively easily. The other 3 games I expect to be good games, although there's a small part of me that thinks Brazil may just beat the brakes off of Mexico.
Well, if you haven't learned yet from this World Cup is who knows what the heck is going to happen. Because, I mean, you got Spain, Germany, Argentina, Portugal, out. And look at the teams that were left out of the tournament completely, right? Netherlands, Italy.
Yeah.
So
the U.S.
Ooh.
I mean, all the powers.
All the powerhouses.
All the powerhouses. So, speaking of not knowing, I have no idea what LeBron is going to do.
Oh, come on, man. You're not down with the LeBron James clique? Everybody knows what he's going to do.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, what is he going to do?
I'll tell you what he's going to do. He's going to sign 2-year deal with a 1-year opt-out. That's what he's going to do.
With who?
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because after he signs this deal with whatever team,
Right.
it's gonna be the decision part 5 next year.
Is he gonna do another TV show?
God, Paul George did one.
Did he really?
He kind of did like a 3-part series, but it wasn't like official in front of boys and girls club saying I am taking my talents to.
That was so stupid.
I am keeping my talents in.
I'd like to make an announcement on this show. I am taking my talents to the kitchen after the show because I'm hungry.
I need to make an announcement too. I am taking my talents to the toilet and dropping a major Mondo Duke on you. Your toilet.
I will make this announcement. I was going to say this for the end of the show, but I will make one announcement.
Please.
We will be back next week, I promise.
We will.
Look, I don't think LeBron's going anywhere. I don't see... To me, there's only one reason for LeBron to leave. And that's to win the NBA championship. Okay. And the only way for him to secure himself to make sure that happens, he has to go to Golden State. He's got to go to Houston. Maybe Oklahoma City.
Sixers?
The Sixers... Maybe the Sixers. Because, yeah, I guess if he went to the Sixers, then he'd make it to the finals, obviously, and he would have a shot at beating the Warriors. Or the Celtics, I guess. But here's the thing. I don't think winning an NBA championship is as important to LeBron as it is to those of us that watch LeBron. I honestly, I think we as fans... Because he is as great as he is, we want him to win championships. I think there's a large population, not you because you don't like him. There is a large population of people that are not Cleveland fans that want to see him win championships because he is a phenomenal player and they want to see him in that discussion with Magic and Bird and Jordan. But I don't think it's all that important to LeBron. And he's won some championships. What? He's got 3?
He's got 3.
He won some championships. So why go anywhere? Why leave the friendly confines of Cleveland?
Let me ask you.
Why leave an organization where they can pay him more than anybody else,
right? And
he can influence personnel decisions so that he can have his friends with him, right? And he can influence management as to who the coach is going to be. He can make it as comfortable for himself as possible, and he can play basketball at home. And and his kids are getting to a point now where they're playing ball and stuff. He gets to watch them live their lives right in the friendly confines of Cleveland where he grew up. Why would he want to leave to go anywhere else?
To win. But it has to be important to him. But it's
not. No, it's not.
So
I believe. I believe that Michael Jordan felt like it was life and death to win a championship. I believe Magic Johnson felt like he would die if he didn't win the championship. I don't think LeBron feels that way. I agree with you. LeBron wants to win the championship, no doubt, no question. But I don't think LeBron. I don't think LeBron loses 10 pounds because he doesn't eat for the week after he loses the NBA Finals. Whereas I think maybe Jordan did.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's life or death for him. He doesn't feel that way.
Well, I mean, you could say the same thing for Paul George. You think the Oklahoma City is going to win anything? I mean, they got the same team as last year.
Right, but the difference with Paul George is Paul George can still grow his legacy without winning a championship because he hasn't done everything. LeBron's not going to grow his legacy by winning another championship.
Sure, absolutely he would. Are you kidding me? Yeah, bro. If he gets to 5 at least, if he can get to 5.
Right, but again, I don't think that's all that important to him.
I think
he knows. I think he knows that his legacy is he's in that conversation. Is he going to win the argument every time? Probably not, but who does, right?
If he doesn't win another one, you can't put him in that conversation.
No, I understand that, but we're talking about two different things. For LeBron James, if I put myself, if I sit across from a table, if I sit across from LeBron James and I talk to him, this is the feeling that I would get, is that it's look, he wants to win the championship, no doubt, but I don't think it's the be-all, end-all for him. And for that reason, I don't see why he would go anywhere. Why would he want to go? First of all, I don't understand why everyone thinks he's going to go to L.A. What the hell is in L.A. that's going to make him want to play ball over there?
His son's going to high school there.
Ball? Lonzo Ball?
His son's going to high school there. So to the point that you're making,
that might be the only thing. But other than that, why would if winning championships is important to him, why would LA be an option?
The
Lakers or Clippers.
The only way LeBron goes anywhere at this point is if he knows that Kawhi Leonard is going there too, right? So
why?
What do you mean?
Are they
why?
boys? Again,
if you can't beat him, join him.
This is exactly my point, Alex. LeBron's more interested in playing ball with his boys than he is about winning a championship. Because if it was all about winning a championship, he'd be on the first plane down to Houston.
Well, yeah.
Right?
Well, that's his boys. Chris Paul,
yeah.
He's tied with Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Chris Paul just re-signed.
Yeah, well.
So, I don't know, man. I don't know. But I think I definitely don't agree with you that it's not about winning championships. Yes, I agree. He's not probably on the level of like what a championship meant to Jordan and to Kobe. But if you think that LeBron doesn't care what his legend status is, where he is on, if he even makes Mount Rushmore, it matters to him. It matters. So
not enough to go to Cleveland. I'm sorry, to go to LA or. I just don't. I just don't see it.
Well, if he stays in Cleveland, then you might be right. If he stays in Cleveland, you might be right.
Here's the other thing. Why would he want to go to Philly? I think he knows you don't want to be up in the Northeast, man. That's a different kind of sports pressure. And Philly's not New York or anything, but there'll be some serious pressure there. And I don't look. LeBron's like
This is what I'm kind of drawn back by. Paul George re-signed with Oklahoma City. There's a lot of talk with him going to LA. Why? Because when I grow up, I want to wear that Laker jersey, right? And he had his chance, right? Of course, money speaks volumes, right? But
4 years, 130.
Right, there was a $46 million difference if he would have signed, right, with the Lakers. So, what I'm surprised is you play with Kyrie Irving. Kyrie, whatever happened there, Kyrie requests to get traded. He gets traded. How are these players, besides Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, nobody wants to play with this guy?
Tristan Thompson does.
Well, yeah, because he helped him out get that 4-year, $80 million contract.
J.R. Smith.
Except
for that one time LeBron wanted to kill him.
Yeah, but he helped him get that contract. I mean, so nobody wants to. I mean, nobody's making the attempt to like play with this guy or to convince him to go somewhere or say, hey, we'll go to Cleveland, we'll come to you. Nobody like.
That's the part that surprises me. Is like, if I was,
you can't get none of these guys to come play with you.
I'd want to go play with LeBron.
I would too.
I don't know.
So I don't know.
And one guy requested to get out of there.
Yeah. And not no schmuck either. I mean, we're talking.
What if he goes to the Celtics and then he makes him trade away Kyrie Irving?
Oh, dude, that would be awesome. Drama. That'd be like a soap opera right there.
Oh yeah. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the questions to Kyrie Irving?
Oh, dude, I think he would sit out a whole year.
Now that they've signed LeBron James, what are your plans? IR.
Nah, I don't think he's that type of player. I think he would ball out with Cleveland.
Who?
Kyrie.
Oh, you think they'd ship him back to Cleveland?
No. I'm saying if that were to happen,
mm-hmm.
if LeBron goes to the Celtics and he says, "Hey, man, get this guy out of here, ship him back to Cleveland," I think Kyrie would ball out.
I don't know. It's look.
Yeah, I have no clue. If you guys know where LeBron is going, let us know.
I'd
man,
love to hear it.
because I have no clue.
To be honest with you, I've heard from some friends and stuff on Twitter, and you guys have far better insights as to why he may be going somewhere as opposed to ESPN. If I get one more video about LeBron James jumping in a lake, therefore he's going to the Lakers, I'm going to lose my mind.
Oh, you see it? Lakers. It all makes sense. Boom, we nailed it.
You sound like the ESPN idiots.
We nailed it.
Someone shoot me.
I didn't watch ESPN, by the way. I just made that up myself right now.
That's hilarious.
Or maybe he's going to Toronto. Niagara Falls, the waterfall.
Yeah, but they're the Raptors.
Oh, yeah. Damn. That won't work.
If they catch him eating some Lucky Charms, look out. He's going to Boston.
Definitely. I think the Sixers are the best choice for him to go to right now. I think the Sixers would
Better
benefit.
than the Rockets.
Yes.
Why?
Yes, because you got James Harden, who demands the ball. You got Chris Paul, who also demands the ball. I think with going to the 76ers, you have a bona fide point guard in Ben Simmons, who LeBron doesn't have to do that now. Now he can just run up the court. He doesn't have to facilitate. He can move around and do whatever he's got to do, and just let Ben Simmons do everything.
Yeah, but he can do that in Houston.
Yeah, but you know what?
Chris Paul brings the ball up, and he can do whatever he wants.
No. James Harden brings up the ball. He's going to cross you over 5 times.
Even better.
Step back 10 times and shoot the 3.
Even better.
And
you got two guys to bring the ball down the
And
court.
we've seen what happens when James Harden's the MVP, your MVP, shoots the ball 11 times from 3-point land in a game 7. It doesn't work, bro.
Right, but what you're saying, you're not saying anything. What you're saying Philadelphia offers is no different than what Houston offers. The only difference is Houston's going to offer it with veteran leadership. Where with Philadelphia, you're going to get a bunch of kids where you may get one of them do something stupid like J.R. Smith.
And that's the key right there. Kids. 76ers can sign him to the deal that he wants. Rockets, I don't think can. They're going to have to move around some pieces.
They all know how to make that work.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
They're all good.
Remember, this is not a sign and trade or a trade. They got to sign them.
But look, all these guys know, and money is not the issue for LeBron. If money was the issue, he would just re-sign with Cleveland.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? I don't know. I think both of those options are viable. And with him being boys with Chris Paul, I don't see why he doesn't come to Houston.
Plus, Chris Paul is not the healthiest of healthy basketball players out there. To be honest with you.
Right. No, that's true.
So,
but with LeBron on the floor, you don't have to play Chris Paul those minutes. Plus, they're going to be blowing people out. You only have to play 3 quarters.
We've seen LeBron play 3 quarters plenty of time early in his career.
Yeah. See. So I mean.
So where's he going?
I think he's staying in Cleveland. I think he's staying in Cleveland because I don't think winning a championship is all that important to him. I shouldn't say that. I don't think winning a championship. Let me phrase this correctly.
What do you think?
I don't think that putting himself through the grind of winning a championship is more important to yield that result is more important to him than the stability and comfort of being in Cleveland and making it to the finals and, solidifying his legend status by being LeBron and the LeBronettes. I think he's good with that.
You think he's staying?
And there's an extra $40 million, I believe.
Yeah, that's a big difference. Although I'm sure he would make that somewhere else outside of the
the money
court.
really isn't the issue.
But
if he went to LA, the endorsement dollar would more than make up the difference, I'm sure.
And I would not go to LA, man. I'm sorry. That's. I mean, you would put an immense amount of pressure on yourself if you're LeBron James and go to the Lakers and not win.
Well, I don't understand.
Plus, there's no one there.
Exactly.
And you got a loudmouth. It's a deal.
You think he's gonna? You think Ball's gonna be there much longer?
No, I don't think
Lonzo?
so. I don't think so. No.
No,
If Magic Johnson is serious about what he said earlier this week, that if it doesn't work out after next year, then you ship the guy. You ship him because that's $7 million you can spend somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money he's making. He's not that good. He's got a torn meniscus now,
That's
so
a problem.
he ain't that healthy.
Believe me,
So
I know.
and he comes with a package.
Yeah, the meniscus is a problem.
Yes,
It's a problem.
you
I
wouldn't
know.
be able to play.
Yeah, but I can ball. I mean, I can ball.
Can you?
Meniscus or
Can
not,
ya?
bro. I'm the kind of baller that doesn't need a meniscus.
Oh shit!
That's how good I am.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I mean, I do it sans meniscus.
I need a meniscus. I need my meniscuses.
I'm happy for Paul George that he got paid.
Yeah, I am too.
So their big three is intact, right? Carmelo,
yeah, I guess.
Paul George, and Russell Westbrook. You know, Russell Westbrook's got to be just going, oh my God, why did Carmelo resign? But I mean, what was Carmelo going to do, right?
Oh, that was a no-brainer. You can't even knock the guy. I
don't
can't
know.
knock him. I mean, look, you know what? Whatever. You can say the Thunder were dumb for giving him the deal, right? For trading for him or whatever, however they got him. So, look, he made a business move.
He made the right decision for Melo, no question.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm bummed about it because I want to see Russell Westbrook with some talent around him. I want to see him have a shot.
Yeah.
I'd love to see. I would love to see him, Paul George, and LeBron James together in the West going up against the Golden State Warriors. I'd love to see.
I'd take that.
I'd love to see that.
And you know what? I don't know why.
But the fact of the matter is that the deal that Melo had in front of him, he had to do it. It's his last bit of money. I mean, you gotta take as much as you can.
Yeah. And memo to the Thunder front office. Listen, you're a bunch of millionaires, about 8 of you.
Billionaires.
Go sign someone else. You can afford it.
Maybe they're talking to LeBron.
Maybe.
Where's Kawhi gonna end up?
I think Kawhi stays with the Spurs. I
agree.
I don't think San Antonio is going to get the package they want.
No. Look, he's one of the top players in the league. They're going to want a top player back.
But
who's going to give him a top player?
But how is this going to work out when the season starts and he's still on the team?
You know,
this is a dysfunctional house.
Yeah,
at this point.
I disagree.
You don't think so?
I disagree. I think he was disgruntled during the season. I think he was disgruntled. But once they make the decision, hey man, you're not going anywhere, I think Pop will get him in line and they'll all come together like they always do. They're the Spurs, man. They're the Spurs.
I wish he would come out, and I know it's not his character, but I wish Kawhi would just come out and say something. Say something. You got hurt. You missed all of the season. You didn't say nothing. You didn't even show up with the team to the playoff games. Like, bro, I understand, but
What's going on? Yeah, well, but part of that is the Spurs influence, right?
Yeah.
So, and I think they're going to work it out. And I agree with you. I think he's going to stay. I think they're going to work things out, and I think everything's going to move along.
So next year will be the year of the signings.
Who's up next year?
Well, they all could be. Definitely Kawhi. Mm-hmm. Definitely LeBron. Definitely Durant. Durant signed too.
Yeah.
But 2 year, right? 2 year
deal.
1 year opt out.
The NBA is kind of fun in this regard.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah.
Can't knock the guys.
No. I mean, look, everyone is their own individual corporation. You gotta do what you can to.
Someone said, Kevin Durant's taking the easy way out in life. You know, what a message you're sending to the kids. Look, man, the guy doesn't get in trouble. He went to college. He's been in the league for 10 years almost. Played, fulfilled his contract with Oklahoma City. I think he's earned the right to do whatever he wants to do at this point.
Yeah,
so,
no, I mean,
if he wants to join the Warriors and win championships and MVPs, go right ahead.
Yeah, it's a tough road to hoe, but somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Alrighty.
So I think we're ready to wrap it up.
Shout outs.
Man, my shout out goes to Bobby Bonilla.
Oh, Jesus.
Merry Bonilla Day. The guy is making $1.19 million every July 1st up until 2035. He has the Johnny Cochran of agents. Alright? Because he's getting away with murder.
So your shout out isn't to Bobby Bonilla, it's to his agent.
Well, it's
structured that deal.
Yeah. But still, Bobby Bo, man, dude, shout outs to him, man. He's living the life.
Yeah, I guess so. I hate hearing about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't hate. That's a bit much. I just think it's silly that they bring it up every year.
Yeah, well, I'm used to it by now, so.
Yeah. Well, our cousin reminds us of it.
Yes.
Every year.
We don't need social media or anything or
No.
a calendar to know. It's Bobby.
Nothing like having a Philly fan in the family to remind you of your stupid deals. My shout out goes to Kevin Abel, freshman pitcher for the Oregon State Beavers, who this week won the College World Series. Oregon State, they've got two lights out pitchers, and they were not the stars. Kevin Abel, a freshman, a true freshman, was the star.
Mm-hmm.
He pitched the game to clinch their spot in the College World Series against I want to say Washington. I may be wrong. I apologize. But to come out of that bracket and face Arkansas in the championship, and then Arkansas won game 1. Game 2, Oregon State was up. He came in, pitched 2 innings to shut down Arkansas and win game 2 to force a deciding game 3. And then he pitched game 3.
He started?
He's normally a starter.
Okay.
He started game 3. He pitched a shutout.
Wow.
In game 3 with all the chips on the table. Just a masterful performance by the guy. He was... I watched the game, and he was just dealing. And you could tell about the third inning. By about the third inning, you could tell. And the only question was, is he going to run out of gas, right? Because he had pitched 2 innings the night before, the pressure and whatnot. But he just never let up. Just a masterful performance by a freshman on the biggest stage in a final game like that. Hats off to Kevin Abel. Extremely proud and honored to have watched him pitch. I mean, it was just it was amazing. As I watched the game, I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
This kid is 19 years old and he's just dealing. I'm sure his draft stock went through the roof for next year's draft. But hats off to him. Hats off to the Oregon State Beavers. Hats off to the Arkansas Razorbacks. They had a wonderful season as well. But your Oregon State Beavers are the 2018 College World Series champions. Fantastic effort.
Sweet.
So, a lot of fun to watch. Hey, man. Enjoy your 4th of July. Happy birthday to our country. A little early.
Yes.
Enjoy your day off. There's no soccer games, which is fine because you wouldn't be working anyway.
On the 4th of July?
Yeah.
No?
No. It was just
Damn.
kind of. But hey, there's always the hot dog eating contest.
That's another reason LeBron may sign with the 76ers. That would be awesome if he goes like in front of the Liberty Bell and like puts on his Thomas Jefferson suit, right? With the hair.
You've lost it.
No, I'm serious, bro. How cool would that be? Like the declaration of signing? The declaration of free agency?
You've lost
That'd be
your
kind of cool.
No, it wouldn't.
On the 4th of July?
Please let him not do another decision show.
Dude, that would be great.
I love the costume thing. With
You know, with that pen, with the funny pen?
the feather?
Yeah.
A quill, I believe.
A quill, yes.
That's what I call it, anyway. Alrighty, folks. Well, as always, thank you very much for joining us. If you want to email the show, you can do so at positivesports10@gmail.com. Positivesports10@gmail.com. If you want to get a hold of this guy,
like always, don't be a leader, be a follower. Follow me on Twitter at Brooklyn Gaucho. What a great rebound.
no, what a recovery. What a recovery. And if you want to get a hold of me, a lot of you already do. I know I don't have to tell you this because I get so much hate from you guys. It's hilarious. But hey, if you want to get a hold of me, please do so at eMontana21 on Twitter. And with that, we've come to the end of episode 24 of the Positive Sports Podcast, the Ken Griffey Jr. Show.
Kobe.
As always, folks, ignore the negativity. Be the positivity.
Peace.